Okay, so we're in the intervention phase of his interview skills. So, Keith G.
So,
Okay, so the client is a recovering addict who is suffering from post traumatic stress disorder while being in the military. He wants to deal with ways to deal with alcoholism,
mm,
um, various narcotics, and anger,
there you go.
anxiety. All right, so before we get started, we're gonna get everything organized here, which I should have had from the very beginning. Missed this last week. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. First, pertaining to relapse prevention, as well as um, anxiety, depression. Can you explain to me in your own words exactly what the problem is that you have right now, and who else is involved, if any?
Um, well, it doesn't only affect me; it affects my family as well. I have post-traumatic stress disorder from the loss of life around me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the situations I was in, things I had to do that I didn't want to do that I was made to do. Um, anytime that I get stressed out or anything like, I build anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and that's basically the
Okay.
gist of it there.
Okay. So we have more than a dual diagnosis. We have a mental health diagnosis, and we also have substance abuse.
Mm.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, the thing is like I don't. The easiest way for me to deal with it is to self medicate. I go for the narcotics because that seems to work the best. It's not always the best solution,
Mm-hmm.
but for a right now thing, that's what usually works. Other medications take time to adhere and work, um, and it's just what I've been used to doing all my life. When I run into a problem, I just run to the drug.
Okay. So first of all, what are your expectations of resolution? Whenever you come to an intervention, it's usually after we do an assessment and you decide, I had enough, I'm ready to move forward. So, what exactly are your expectations?
First, to see what kind of help is out there for me, um, and what plan of attack we could make to help arrest the problems at hand. We have to stop the bleeding,
Right,
so to say.
right.
And I obviously can't do it on my own, so I look for help, and the people that are there to help me, they come up with a plan, and then we go ahead and follow that plan.
Okay, well, from a case management perspective, we're going to go from a strengths perspective. To remain client centered is not necessarily to enable and me fix your problems, but it's for me to empower you so that you can be able to fix them yourself. So I'll ask you, what are your strengths pertaining to the ability to deal with recovery, as well as we know that medication and therapy is what we can do with pertaining to mental health. But what are your strengths as far as?
Well, I'm knowledgeable in the recovery aspect. I've been through it most of my life.
Okay.
Um, I take advice and suggestions. When I'm in a good mood and things are going good, it's all good. It's just when things are bad is when I have to look for other people to empower me, and in that it brings me around to know what mistakes can be made and what I can achieve by doing the right thing.
Okay. So you're open to help and
Being
advice
open
from other
minded is
people.
probably a huge strength that I have.
Okay. And you have a we
Yes,
and you have sponsors.
right.
And do you attend meetings?
Regularly.
Okay, so you have a good foundation.
Yes.
So that's definitely a strength. Um, what is your self awareness at this stage? How can you evaluate yourself whenever you're about to go through an issue where you feel like you're about to slide into a depression or slide into anxiety?
Frustration. When I get overwhelmed, I get frustrated. When I get frustrated, I want a quick fix. I want the easy button.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of going through the channels which I've been taught, I go to what I know best, and it's to take a drug and just alleviate the pain through chemicals. Um, but through the foundation that I've made and people such as yourself, I'm able to thwart that idea and go another path, which is better for me and my recovery.
That's great. Now, how would you describe your current mental state right now?
I'm sorry. Um, I'm very giddy right now.
Let's say
But
you're
no,
upbeat.
I'm in a good state.
Okay.
Yeah, things are positive. Things are looking up. I get depressed here and there. I mean, things are not wiped away, totally from my mind. I still think about things on a daily basis,
Hmm.
but I'm able to get through it instead of go around it.
But you maintain that you're open to therapy sessions or peer group sessions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Without that, it wouldn't be. I would be just by myself again.
Well, I have one last question. Have you ever overcame any problems in the past, and if so, how did you?
Mm. Well, yeah. I've had to ask for help. I've been homeless. I've been, uh, in need of help in many different areas. Financially, spiritually, and I've always had to ask other people for help. And the people that are willing to help me came to my rescue. And as long as I did what they suggested, then I succeeded. It was myself that drug me down again.
Okay, so
That's where I came from.
what I would ask you to do is to commit to me that you would be able to go through a 90 and 90 meetings in 90 days. I will give you a couple therapist numbers. Of course, everything's not going to be a perfect fit, so we will see what's the best fit for you. You would have to sign some releases, which I actually need you to sign on this service plan right here. And I think this is an older one. This one and this one. So not only will we have consent to deal with people on your behalf, but we'd also have the ability to connect you with all the resources that you would need.
Great.
Lastly, pertaining to any type of intervention, it always comes down to you. It's not necessarily the case manager, the unit team, or supervisors, none of that. It's always really about you. Often we have case workers who start to feel that they have all the answers. They get a little bit of schooling behind them and maybe a paycheck,
Right.
and they may think that they know everything. And sometimes, most of the time, their hearts are in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a set mindset of what we want you to do, and it's usually best whenever you can have some input of what you would want to happen. Not just that you want things to work out, but how you would want to happen. If you want to work on things like a stronger family reunification, which is more of an emotional and psychological support, group sharing, social sharing, or if you would not necessarily want to deal with a family structure, but you feel that you wanted to strengthen the we and focus more on finances, different things like that. So,
Right.
so at the end of the day, even though we'll put together a service plan, you got to remember it's about what you want,
That's right.
so we can get it done the way it's supposed to get done. But that's our time, and we'll meet up. What's your schedule like this week?
I work every day.
I know. We just we
I
got
don't know. We're
we got to get a schedule so we can get another one-on-one together.
9 to 6 or so.
All right. So, dang, I got to come late again.
I guess.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Grateful. And we have a client who is suffering from, well, he's in recovery. We're dealing with relapse prevention, placing multiple resources such as meetings, NA meetings. The goal is to get 90 and 90, rebuild a foundation. Anytime we're dealing with depression or PTSD, you want to get a licensed clinical social worker involved or a therapist who's licensed, who can work with them and make sure that all medications that are available can be there. You also want to make sure that we have um, any other contacts that may be useful, such as the insurances or in place. We want to make sure that all family, friends, or any other social groups that can act as a support system are there as well. And lastly, we want to make sure that we're dealing with a strengths perspective based off of empowerment to make sure that we don't fall into enabling or pushing our agenda and not necessarily his agenda. So we're going to go into this intervention stage with the plans that everything that we put in place is going to bring a favorable outcome. And then the next video we'll do is termination.